So I wanted to show you this awesome website, graffiticreator.net. The only problem is that you do need to do this on a laptop or a desktop computer. It doesn't work on a mobile device, and it only works if you can enable a Adobe Flash plugin. So you'll kind of see what I mean in a second, but it's just too cool of a resource not to at least mention to you. So if you happen to have a computer at home that's not a mobile device and you want to try to check this out, I highly recommend it for this week's assignment. So this is the site, graffiticreator.net. And you can start off by choosing one of these really amazing options. This website was designed by a professional graffiti artist, so it's really authentic in terms of style, really good stuff. So you just pick a style to start with. I'm gonna load this one. Now it worked right away, but the last time I did this, it made it look like it wasn't gonna work, and I basically just had to click a button to allow Adobe Flash to run. So if at first it doesn't look like it's going to run, just there's like usually a little icon that says Adobe Flash. You can click on it and get it to go. So this is how it looks once you do get it running, and it's a Flash player that's interactive. So it asks you basically, hey, what do you want to type in? So I'm just going to keep it simple, do my last name. And so pretty sweet to begin with, but you have a lot of customization options. You don't want to just like leave it as is because this is pretty intense. So if you want to just work on one letter at a time, you can basically click off and unselect the letters that you don't want. Okay, so if I just want to mess with the width of the letter A or the height of the letter A, that would allow me to do that. And then obviously I could do the same with the other ones. Okay, and that gives you a little more customization, and you can actually physically move them around too. And I believe there's a way to rotate, but I'm not going to really mess with that right now. But in any case, so I'm clicking on the U right now. I'm just clicking a fill base color. So I just created that. So if I want to fill the top with a different color, I can do that. And although the other ones filled in, I can go select those 2A's later and change that color. I don't have to stick with that. I can do a sunrise effect, sunset effect. Okay, so sunrise effect. So that means I can kind of take that piece that allows me to mess with that, and that's the top part. Sunset effect would be the bottom part. So I can allow that to kind of be a double tone there. 3D, which this is really important for this week, that we make these three-dimensional. That is, the assignment is that you create a three-dimensional, it has form, a three-dimensional burner, which is a very detailed piece of graffiti. Okay, and so once I've done that, I can choose that can be a different color, it doesn't have to be black. Okay, so I'm good with my U. If I want to add stripes, I can even mess with the coloring of that. Even more stripes if I want to get more detailed. So you just go right down this list, and there's lots of different, you can just keep on adding detail. Now it gets a little bit too much after a while. Now I could have just done this all to all the letters at once. So if I wanted to make them all have the same stripes, I could do that, or make them all have the same base color, I could do that, and give them some uniformity. So if that's something that you wanted to include, you could also do that. Okay, and again, like there's definitely ways to mess with that. I can mess with the scale of all of them at once if they're all selected. Okay, so if I was doing this at this point, I'm not really sure how to finalize this. I would probably just take a screenshot and save it to my desktop to just hold on to later, because I could submit this as part of my evidence for the week as something that I did as kind of like preparation for my final artwork. And then, this is kind of a cool piece of art in itself, but you could then take this and then do your drawing from looking at this. So you don't have to use this tool, but it's pretty awesome to ignore if you have the capability to do it. So if you have a desktop that you can use to do this, a decent laptop or desktop computer, highly recommend graffiticreator.net. And then you can use what you design here to inspire your assignment for the week. Again, if you do not have this, it's not necessary. I just figured it was worth mentioning.